What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cisco No Mic podcast. Before I introduce our guests, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We see you guys. You guys are coming back and watching and not subscribing, so make sure you do it. Today, we have a guest. He's not your puppet, but he is the PuppetMaster, and he is always pulling the strings. We got Cain Carias in the house today.
That's right. What's up, people? How you guys doing?
Hey, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for bringing Triste, Smiley, and Mystery.
Yeah, little mystery.
Little mystery.
In the house, you know?
So you have a little bit of a crazy story, right? You're originally from Tijuana?
Yeah, that's where I grew up, and I was born right there, Tijuana. And yeah, man, I kind of been around for a while, and I'm about to be 35 in March.
Nice.
What age did you come from Tijuana?
I was 13.
13, okay, so teenager.
Yeah, I was 13, so I practically left half of my life over there and lived half of my life over here, which was pretty interesting. And it was a big change, man. It was a dramatic change.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, coming from over there, growing up and over there, like in that side of the border, like even though I was so close to, like, San Diego and all that, I mean, I didn't know I was never even thought about even, I mean, I always, because, going through the border, you have to go through the border to go to El Centro, which is the main city, and you have to go through it no matter what, because that's where the buses will go through, and you see all the traffic, and you practically see, like, the lines and all that, and people selling stuff and that stuff. And I walked through all that, but I just never got curious or even thought about it, going to the other side. And so I would just grow up in my own, my own little neighborhood and just live there, I didn't never mention nothing like that. And they had, like, neighbors that lived in San Diego. So they would come, like, I guess vacation time, they would come and, we would play with them, and sometimes they would speak in English and stuff like that. And yeah, I didn't understand. They were just kind of, I guess, the white people to us.
Los
and
güeros?
stuff. Yeah, los güeritos and shit. And yeah, man, they were listening to, like, Eminem a lot. And that's why I kind of got stuck with, like, his, like, music, kind of.
So you're an Eminem fan?
Well, yeah, I grew up in all that. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of captivating me in that way, Eminem, and I never really searched it, but when they would come around, hey, let me listen to your CD player, and I would just listen to it, and they would be like, what the fuck, like, this wouldn't even understand it, but I would try to listen, like, but yeah, like, that's where I grew up, and my dad was and my uncles and all that, they were big Bob Marley fans. And,
shit.
They collected, like, cassettes, posters, vinyls, and they collected everything, and I grew up listening to reggae music.
Oh, that's dope.
From, like, Bob Marley, Ika Mouse, to, like, Barrington Levy. I mean, there's so many right now that is kind of brainstorming, because I love so much reggae music that is kind of like, boom, like, and now that I'm over here, that I now understand the lyrics. Because back in the day, I don't understand. I just kind of went
with the beat and the rhythm, yeah.
It was kind of, my dad was a big stoner, he smoked a lot.
But that's why you like Bob Marley?
Like, where did that come from? That's kind of like Tijuana and reggae? But,
yeah, I mean, yeah, like, we practically lived in a long room, in a one-bedroom long room, and it was a curtain dividing us from, like behind, like, like something like this. Behind it will be like a bed, and all of us sleeping, because I'm the older one of 6. So it used to be 5 of us over there in bed with mom. My dad used to be playing cards, smoking, bumping Bob Marley, and just, reggae music. And I was just, sleeping to it, waking up to it, like, all around it. And yeah, man, and, it was pretty interesting. Now that I'm over here and I speak a little bit of English, I kind of got so much deep into it, because the lyrics is just amazing what they talk about, and it just kind of went based on everything they talk about and make me want to dig into it, and it was pretty cool, man. I love the whole search and trying to find out new songs, and I'm like, oh shit, like,
yeah, that's dope.
Telling stories,
telling
stories, especially like reggae, just
yeah, it's just a vibe, man.
Yeah.
And I kind of, my dad used to do so many drugs, like, he kind of went into, like, up and down into everything, and the only thing that I really kept from it was, smoking. I do smoke a lot, and I went through the phase too, when I got here, because, I grew up in Mcarthur Park. That's where I grew up, and you could practically find anything there.
Yeah.
And, I grew up with the neighborhood there, and, I was raised with them and all that, and I got to try practically everything, and I was stuck for it in a while, and practically left. I lived the life that we're living, even though I shouldn't, because I'm not from here. I could have got caught up and sent back to, even though I was not going that far, but back to
Yeah,
Tijuana, would
So,
probably like I would not be able to come back, and that's practically the only thing that stopped me from joining the neighborhood there. Cause I mean, my homies would go to jail, come back. I would go to jail and then fucking send back. And that would have been it, And I'm like, oh shit, like, and when I landed here, I kind of acquired the job at the theater, when I was really young, and I was still hanging out with the homies and all that, and so it was interesting, man. It was just a trip.
how did that affect like the relationship with your homies? And when you got here, you said you got that job.
Yeah.
Were you interested in that beforehand, or is that something that happened?
It happened randomly.
Okay.
It was just random, man. I never really even knew about puppets before, because when I was in Tijuana, I was just, like in my own little world, and it was just interesting my way that I was living over there. When I got over here, I mean, I was just a paisita, I mean, I'm still a paisita, People, I mean, consider me or label me a Chicano, which I'm not saying is bad, but I didn't grow up over here, I came over here, so I'm practically Mexican, and I mean, like I said, I practically pick up their style, maybe living, or I hang out with a lot of, Chicanos, because I'm involved in the lowrider community, even though I don't have a lowrider, but, I know every car club, and they always invite me because of El Triste, so it's pretty interesting the way that I kind of got involved into that little section of culture and all that stuff, and yeah, it was just different, man. It was really different, and I mean, I kind of got lost in the question.
Oh, no, I was saying que si cuando empezaste en el teatro,
Oh,
were you interested in that already,
Oh, yeah,
or is it something
yeah,
que
yeah.
te nació día después?
No, so I grew up, the neighborhood that I grew up, there was maybe like 6 buildings in that little section. In the intersection, there was 6 buildings, right? I used to live in one building. My other friends used to live in the other building. My other friends in the other building. So we all grew up together. And I used to live in the 2nd floor. I had homies in the 3rd and the 4th floor. And one of my friends in the 1st floor, he acquired a job. Because we used to go to Belmont High School, which was practically right there in the neighborhood. And he used to go to the same high school as all of us. And so he acquired the job. And I don't know, somehow he asked another homie, hey, you want to work in a theater? And he said no. And he asked me, and I was like, I mean, yeah. I just say yeah. I mean, he told me
it's a job's a job, right?
But I mean, like, for some reason, I thought it was like a movie theater. I'm going to be looking at free movies, and I'm like, yeah.
Free popcorn.
Like, I love movies, I grew up watching movies and all that. And so when I say yeah, and I actually went into the theater, I was like, oh, oh, this is not even what I expected. Because I went to during Halloween.
Simón.
So they had a Halloween theme show, which it was mind blowing, because you see a little mini movie, but just with puppets, and the lights go off, and there's puppets that glow in the dark because they got the black light shining on them, and skeletons that break off, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on? In my mind, because I was young, even though I was just kind of absorbing everything that was coming to me so fast, and I'm like, oh, this is what it is, I didn't see a puppet before, even to right now, I never seen the movie Pinocchio fully. I've seen clips and stuff like that, but I never sit down and watch the whole movie to even know what a puppet is. Even though Pinocchio is considered a marionette. Marionette is with strings. Anything that has strings is considered a marionette, because a puppet could be a sock that you put in your hand. This could be a puppet. There's shadow puppets that you put a light, and then with your hand it will transfers shadows. That's shadow puppets. And these are marionettes. It kind of not goes away from it, but puppets is a universal for everything, and marionettes is considered what I do, which is with strings. I mean, we did maybe 10 hand puppets. There's out of 3,000, 10 hand puppets. We did some shadow puppets. They were pretty cool, but everything that we did was mostly with strings, which is a little more difficult. Not saying in a way, because everybody could learn in a month. you learn the basics, and it's just like learning a bicycle. You know, you trying to go in training wheels first, you know, and then you take them off, and then you do wheelies and all that. It takes time, you know. That's how it is with this. If you stop using the bicycle, just like if I would stop with this, I could come back 10 years from now and pick it up and be like, oh, okay. It will come out naturally because I've done it so much, and it's just natural instinct, you know, because, I mean, I haven't ride a bike, but if I ride it right now, I know how to do it, you know. It's like, just kind of like this. It's the same, you know. It's pretty simple, but there's difficult puppets too. And yeah, man, I just acquired the job, and it was just random, man. The puppets I had, it was just so amazing, man, and I never really expected.
So you fell in love with the puppet world.
I did. I mean, if I would have, cause you know, after I acquired the job at the theater, I kind of got involved into the whole world, you know, cause even though you guys, maybe I'm probably the only puppet master you guys know, but I know like 50 of them. Like I know I'm involved in that world that I know all of them, I guess. I could see a map like beep, 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 you know, like, I mean, you guys know another puppet guy?
No.
that's
That's what I was gonna say, because I didn't even know about the puppet on the streets till I was like maybe 11, 12 years old.
Oh, like knowing about a puppet.
Yeah. For me, puppets was Sesame Street puppets.
Yeah,
you know, where like they're underneath.
Kinda,
So
I mean, that's another word too, you know.
yeah, so those were the like the ones that had the sticks.
Yeah.
You know, those were the only ones that I knew about.
I thought my first experience con puppets is in Tijuana, when we used to go to Tijuana. They sell the little, you know,
like singers. Sometimes they have a bottle.
But look at that. I wouldn't even think of that as a puppet back then. For me, now that you mention it, you're right, and I didn't even think about it. But so you started working there, and what led you to kind of be like, you know what, I want to learn how to control them?
Okay, so when they hire me to be the lighting guy, the lighting technician, or whatever you want to call it. You know, I mean, we call it like just lighting guy, I guess.
Simon.
So they
kind of like the sound guy. We have a sound guy.
Oh yeah, kind of, you know, with lights and all that.
Yeah,
so
sound technician.
Yeah. So they hired me to do that. Because I mean, when you go into the theater, there's like 8 of us. You know, I'm not the only puppet master there. There's like 7 of us that do the same thing as me.
Simon.
I'm not the only one, you know. So it's like, it's a trip when people, you know, oh, like you're the best. Like, man, there's like 7 of us, you know. It's like, it's not just the only one. So when I used to go in there, they hired me to do like the lighting effects. So it's me changing the moods. So we used to record, Bob Baker had a big collection, and he actually knew Walt Disney. He actually did a handshake with Walt Disney that he could create some of the characters that he had in the movies into marionettes, like little collectibles kind of thing.
Oh,
and he did so much that in like 70s, 80s, 90s. And I mean, I thought, wow, it kind of got lost and stuff. But I mean, he did all in Snow White, the 7 Doors, Go Free Me. Oh, he did all that, man. Which, I mean, Bob Baker's story is like a whole different, you know, world and stuff. And but you know, they hired me to do the lights. So when you do a show, it's 1 hour long. So Bob Baker would do like a tape, record like different songs, and we'll just push play and go into stage and act to the song. We'll never talk ourselves, like be like, oh, out there, like what's up? Nah, never that. There was like maybe like 7 or 8 puppets that will be like interactive, which will be like a rabbit that came with a palette and start painting people's noses with flavors. So he will come out, we'll stop the song, and he will come out like, hey, my name is this and that, and I'm going to start painting people's noses and with flavors, and start naming flavors. They're so funny, and it just came with the audience and interact with them, and people will go crazy, you know. It was just so funny. And so while the puppet is outside, I will put like happy colors. When a puppet was in the desert, I will put reds and yellows. When there's like snowing, I will put whites and blues. I did all that for like 5 years. But, you know, when it came to practice, we'll practice for 1 week. We'll close the theater for 1 full week. We'll change everything that's going down. We'll put the new puppets in, and we'll practice new routines. But about practicing new routines is like, I mean, out of those 3,000 puppets, every puppet has their own routine. So you have to learn this routine that was passed down since they were built. You know, it's like you're not learning a new routine, because we always kind of record ourselves like I'm doing the show. So when we come out next year and we see the same show, we're like, oh, okay, so this is the routine for that song. And all the routines been passed around since the puppets were built, because every puppet is built for a purpose and for like a purpose in the show.
When you say routine, So you mean like
Like
the way they're gonna
like
move
an
them?
acting kind of like, because it was like a little mini movie, so like
Okay.
a part of a scene, it's like kind of
Sí,
like
sí, sí.
that. So a puppet will come out and sing a song, like a happy song, and come out and jump on people and stuff like that, and I will put lights and all that. So we'll practice all that stuff in 1 week, and for the lighting effects it doesn't take that long to. I will practice maybe towards the end at the towards Friday, because we open on Saturday. So on Friday I will be really on where like people were practicing, and the thing about me is like I had to be there even though I was not doing none of the puppets or none of that stuff. I had to be there to see what the puppet is doing. So I spent 5 years of doing the lighting things, and I spent 5 years of just looking at these people practice,
Just watching them.
look at these people do their routines, look at these people do their special moves, and just observing everything, man. And one of the guys that was there before me, he was like the main puppeteer. He actually left, and he used to do the hardest puppets, because like every movie there's harder roles and things like that. And so these puppets, they're really intimidating. You can't just grab a puppet and be like, oh, I could do it. Like, no, everybody could grab a El Triste and manipulate it, but you can't just manipulate him. So these puppets are really hard, and it takes years to be able to even get close to his full potential, what this puppet could do. So all these people, when he left, everybody was scared to kind of grab these big puppets. So me, 5 years of just absorbing everything, I kind of picked it up, and I'm not saying it became natural, but I kind of knew already what to do. So because we practice in front of a mirror. We practice in front of a mirror, so like that we'll know what the puppet is doing, and we'll just practice and practice. And me practicing with the puppet too, like Bob Baker passed through the hall and he saw me, and he was like, oh, you could do the puppets too. But like I didn't speak English at the time. I was kind of almost getting there, because I did went to high school and middle school for like half a year, so I kind of went to just ESL classes. That's the only classes that I used to go to, and I learned and stuff like that. So I was communicating with like sign language and trying to figure out like a way to communicate. But he will grab a puppet, he would do it, and I would just copy him what he would do. That's the way I kind of learned. And then other people would teach me more and more. And yeah, man, I kind of started grabbing the bigger puppets, and it was just like, wow, like, all right, you could do this.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy right now that you said that how puppeteering and other things is like that, like language, there has no language barriers. Yeah. Like he said, he couldn't communicate, but the puppet can't communicate either. It's by the actions and the movements, and so it kind of worked out for you, huh? Like everything.
Yeah,
like
I think if I would have picked, I mean, if I would have picked another job, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
I mean, I did went to the kitchen because I'm a cook. I went to the kitchen after a while, but like before that, yeah, man, I never expected. I'm still kind of like feel like I'm living in somebody else's dream. Like, I'm kind of like right there, but of course nobody could have done it better than me. But, like it's a trip, man. It's a trip the way that I grew up there, because it was nothing but white people, I'm not saying I'm not racist or nothing like that, but there were white people in there, and everybody grew up, with just, they had a Mexican theme show south of the border. I kind of find it funny. Other people might now probably find it offensive and shit, but it was just so funny. Yeah. It was a fun show to do, and like Mexican will come out playing guitarras and like the Tres Caballeros, and like, it was just funny, like Disney songs and like songs that are like,
it's like Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, kind of like that style, and it was fun.
They make fun of the Mexican shit, but it's funny.
Yeah, but they never had. It was more like a Spanglish. Everything was Spanglish. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was understandable to some words, but yeah, that's kind of as far as Mexican they go, like south of the border kind of thing, because they became to like Panama, different cultures involved into that. And but yeah, man, that's kind of like as far as it go when it comes to Spanish. But yeah, it was so different, man. It was just interesting. It was interesting, and that's what I got caught up and intrigued, and start learning to Bob. Even though I was there, but I was not there, because that's what I was still outside in the streets doing my desmadre. So when I came to the theater, it was a job. It was a 9 to 5. Like you do the shows, and after that you come and build these little puppets so you could sell, because eventually I signed like hundreds of the same heads, and we'll be like sanding and building the bodies and all that for little miniature versions of different puppets that have collections and all that. And it was just pretty cool.
Did that? You mentioned que todavía on the sides you were doing, desmadre. You were living the life, the life where you lived, what you were seeing when you were growing up. Was the theater an escape? Like sometimes, because you say, sometimes when you're out here with the homies or you're doing something, we might be like, fuck, or you might be like, fuck, I don't know if I want to do this, but I got to do it, or this is what we got to do. Pero did the theater, did that become like a como dices, entrabas y era otro mundo?
Yeah.
Did that take you into a different mindset donde pensabas diferente? Or did that get mixed up? I mean, I'm assuming eventually you tied it in because El Triste was born. Yeah. Pero at the beginning, did that have any effect? Like, oh, esto es pa puro güeros. Maybe what am I doing? Or
I mean, at the beginning, I didn't really care about the theater at the beginning because I felt like the less time I spend in the theater is better spend it with the homies, because, I mean, I did so much stuff that I shouldn't have done, like now that I'm seeing like, street vendors getting attacked and, there's like so much stuff going on with social media now at times, because I'm like, shit, like everybody just gets caught up doing something stupid and you get fucked up the whole fucking life. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah. But I mean, since, I grew up in Mcarthur Park, Alvarado is full of, people, selling illegal stuff, and there's a neighborhood there. I grew up with them. So they had to, when it came to la renta, I mean, I'm not saying it's mandatory, but that's how the culture is right now. I mean, this system been around forever, and nobody's going to change that, So I grew up with that kind of mentality with them because we'll walk one block and the homies will kind of went like different ways and start, pulling and I was with a little crowd. So, sometimes people will hide, sometimes people will run because they will know, once we grow that crowd, like in that block, I mean, it will have to be done. I never done it. I always kind of kept on the lookout, kind of, because I was like an outsider, I was the paisita. I should have never been there because I grew up even, I should have been growing up with, with the homies and, like with the paisitas, which I am. And I grew up with the homies because that's kind of where most of the kids were at. And I want to be part of whatever that was going on, And so I grew up with them and they used to clown me and all that. But I like to be more outside because I used to make more money outside quicker. All the things they did and that I done, like we had like $500 a day. Yeah. Like, like I didn't have to do it the whole week, but, a day, and then we stop the next day, and then we do it the next day, and like 500 like a day, and all the homies would spend. Of course, we always spend it on drugs. I always get the kind of like a little more towards me, because I the only thing that I did most was smoking, and this would do everything, like then I got introduced into like all that other things, but I always kind of helped my mom, always I always give her money and. I have my PlayStation, I have my stuff, things that I never had before. I had them now, even though, like, I used to be the older one. So when I had a PlayStation in one single, like, apartment with, like, 7 of us and, like, so many kids, I never got to play it.
Yeah, because everybody would come over.
Yeah, they would come and play it. So I was always, my time would be outside. I used to spend all my time outside. So the theater was just like a job, and I prefer to be more outside because I was learning more of the streets and learning everything instead of just being there. And like I said, 5 years, it was nothing. And I was never there at their Christmas parties. I was never there like in their pictures, with the group pictures. I was never there in all that stuff. And I do regret it now because even though I spent like how many years with Bob Baker before he passed away, I never took a picture with him. I never fucking took a picture with him. Like me kind of be there next to him. Never took a picture with him. I was too much of a badass to be like, hey, like, let's take a picture. I mean, yeah, I knew he was like a big shit, but it was just more like I work with you, I mean, you're my boss. I never really kind of, now that I'm like, I can never share is that like, yeah, I took a picture with Bob. There is a video out there that I did with him. There is a video where they're actually interviewing him, and I was super young, and I'm doing like a balloon clown, like a puppet that is with a balloon all around, and he's talking about the puppet, and I'm actually doing it. That's actually a pretty sick video that I have.
Is that on YouTube?
No, it's on my page. I'll post
Okay.
it again so you guys could check it out.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just, and he's talking about his life, how he actually went down, because you know, like a lot of people used to steal, and you know, he was just by himself, even though he had a big crew. I mean, he had a gold mine, you know, and everybody's trying to get a piece of it, you know. So that's how it is in business and any business. And I mean, he got to be in a different type of business, but yeah, I mean, it was interesting, you know, and there was times, of course, you know, that the money was not there, and I always be like, I'm not gonna show up, and I'm not gonna show up, and I'll be like, you don't have my check. I mean, hey, you know, like,
Simon.
I will go, of course, do my shit, and I'll come back the next day. Or, you know, it was always general when it came to that. I mean, I shouldn't never complain, you know, because I mean, shit, like I was fortunate to even be there, you know, like. I never really thought about it until right now and shit, but
but
that's
yeah, good.
man,
I mean, you know,
it was kind of like,
it's never too late to realize things.
Yeah, like, you know, it was just like, I was the troublemaker there, I guess, you know.
Oh, you were the troublemaker?
Yeah, it was kind of like, you know, like, oh, damn, what do we still have?
So, when was it? So, you know, you obviously, you say you like being outside and doing the other stuff, but obviously now, like, you know, I see you have the tattoos and those mean a lot. So at what point was it when you were there that you were like, man, you know what, like, I really want to dive into it, me quiero meter en esto deep,
Probably
and I want
to spend like 10 years there.
And you realize this is something that I want to.
I'm like, all right, like, because after 10 years, I kind of became the main puppeteer, which was the guy that was doing the bigger puppets, like the puppets that are like solos. You know, I was coming out with like the main character by myself, and everybody would see me.
Simon.
It became like I don't know, it was like a drug, man. Like it was just something else after the show, you know? Because, I mean, it was a privilege to be able to do some of these puppets. Because, like I said, nobody could just grab these puppets and be like, oh, I'm going to try to do it. Like, you had to spend hours and thousands of hours just practicing this puppet. Not outside the theater, like out there performing. Because once you're on stage with all these people, it's like, oh, like, it's different, you know? But, damn, I got lost again.
Even that, well, just to kind of talk about it, how does that feel? Because, you know, you see the crowd, but the crowd doesn't see you. So how do you feel? Like, I get nervous even if I'm stage.
I mean, these puppets are intimidating. Like I said, there's some puppets that are like, no matter how much you've done them, before you go outside, you're like this. And when you're outside, you're like, oh, like trying to pretend I mean, you're happy, you know, but it's like, oh, you're trying not to fuck up. Like, you're trying not to mess up, you know, because these puppets are like so big and so amazing that you're like, you don't want to make a mistake. And that's what I learned, you know, like these puppets are like the works of art, you know, like they spend thousands of hours building this puppet. It's not like I'm going to just build a puppet and just be like, boom, you know, it's going to come out. Like, I mean, each individual puppet is like over $2,000. You want to build like a real marionette and be like, oh, this is like a performing puppet, you know? Like, I mean, $2,000, that's no joke. And some of these puppets, they're movie stars. These puppets came out in movies. I mean, they're like, literally, they've been out there, you know, like they came out in commercials, and I get to manipulate these puppets like on stage in their full potential, in their original song they were meant to be, and people, they get mind blown. And when I say about that, because I've seen so many people manipulate these puppets over the years, you know, I've seen so many different people. They all had different styles and different approaches, and so I kind of absorbed different styles into one of them. Of course, we've seen so many videos of Bob Baker doing these puppets, and we always take that. You know, you don't never want to grab a puppet and do your own thing because it's never going to go with the song. Or maybe it might go, but, you know, it's hard. It's hard because these puppets are just meant to do these things. And that's one of the things when it came, because I kind of became the teacher there after a while. And it was kind of hard to be able to kind of explain some of this. Now I kind of became better in English and stuff. But in that time, it was like, oh, man, how can I teach these people that don't speak Spanish how to do this? Oh, man, it was nothing but sign languages. I'd be doing some sounds, and I don't know what I was doing. I'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, jump like bim, and then you go size. And I was just doing, I don't know what I was doing. They used to clown me. I thought, oh, you know, be like, this paisita. But it was just interesting the way that I kind of used to teach these people how to do some stuff. And oh, man, I'm still kind of like, I don't know how that was done. But, I mean, they labeled me as a teacher because, you know, I was the most experienced, the most that I was there for a long time because I stayed there and people were leaving, just leaving. I mean, the theater is not like, I'm not saying it's not a profession, or I'm not saying it's not doing good right now, because, I mean, puppets are coming back little by little. They're coming out in music videos, they're coming out in a lot of stuff. But in those times, man, the theater was struggling. Like, it was struggling, because from Tuesday to Friday, we used to get a lot of school field trips. Like, a lot of schools from all over, from elementary, kindergarten to universities, used to come and see the shows. But after a while, their school budget got cut out by the government or something. So they cut their field trips and all that. That's when we got hit. And it's like from Tuesday to Friday, we didn't have shows. Only on the weekends when we did like birthday parties or special events and things like that. So it was tough, man. I was like, wow, like we're living paycheck to paycheck. I was just like, oh, man, like I was struggling at that time because, I mean, I kicked my dad out of my house and all those bills came to me. So I had to kind of take the responsibility and stuff. And I was just like, oh, shit, like I didn't really expect it. Yeah. So, I always struggle, man. I always struggle. So it was pretty interesting when it came to that because they always helped me. They always, if I asked them, hey, like I need something, they always gave it to me. So it was good in that point. And I liked it.
Did the homies give you shit for working as a puppeteer?
Yeah, I mean the homies used to always clown me. Always
they would put the oldie song, you're a puppet.
No, yeah, that was always there, and like, you playing with toys, like you fucking, what the fuck are you doing, like, because it was nothing but kids that used to come in there, even though like we used to be adults and stuff, but a lot of kids, and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I used to live in a whole different world, and I used to go over there and entertain kids and stuff. Yeah. And they used to always clown me. There was this one guy that always clowned me, and I kind of got so tired that I was like, you come and work, fool. Come and work here.
Try it out, yeah.
Yeah, try it out. And he was big, he was kind of like in the big side, estaba gordito el güey. His name is Scotty. Pues. Yeah.
Gordito, pequeño, chaparro.
Yeah, and the homie Scotty, shout out to Scotty right there. And I brought him in, they gave him an opportunity because I was like, what the fuck? Why are you bringing this? He's ball hitter and like, he was a big cholo, and what they call it, and yeah, I brought him in, got to work with him. He stayed there for like 3 years, I think, or 4.
So he ended up liking it.
He actually kind of fell in love with it. Yeah. Like, fucking big cholo, gordito, and fell in love with it.
Pero como dijiste, bro, they were like, you're just playing with toys all day. Hey, I'm getting paid to play with toys, bro.
That's my comeback, I get paid more than you for playing with El Triste and stuff. But yeah, man, I kind of got one of the homies to go in, and he was like, oh shit, like I never knew, and he kind of got a little more south side, and he kind of we got a lot of help from him, he always used to do the road shows where there's people that go like into different, like schools, churches. They would go outside while I would stay in the theater, even though he would be part of the theater too. But sometimes when there's people in the theater and then they would have shows somewhere else at the same time, he will go and do those shows. So he will always be involved in those, and he got to learn a lot. I mean, he was not better as me because nobody's better. Nobody's better as me before the people before me. Like to now, I don't think nobody's better than me. But in those times, he got to learn. I mean, I always used to push him. practice, man. Like practice and you get better. And he got to do some puppets that he would never expect. Because when you're inside, you get respect for these puppets. You're like, oh, I wish I could do that puppet. Like, I wish I could do that. And he got to do some of them, that's pretty dope.
You guys should have done a show for the homies.
It was, we did shows at Mcarthur Park.
Oh, okay.
Every year, like once a year, we'll come because they do free shows every year, and we'll come and do like a big show for everybody for free and stuff. As far as bringing the puppets, the puppets, they're just so unique and special.
You don't want to mess them up?
Yeah, I couldn't really bring them out. I'd be like, hey, let me borrow these puppets. Are good. Nah, unless they hired us. Because, the theater was already established. It's not nothing for free no more, that's nothing for free. So, when it came to that, we couldn't. I could let them know about it and be like, hey, bring your whole family.
Imagine todos los niños güeros and all the homies in the back.
Trust.
You're here for the show, dog? You gotta pay. They gotta pay rent too. You gotta pay extra.
Trust me, man. Like after I got into Instagram, I got involved in Instagram, and I had it for years, but always been private. you know, only the homies that I know, and because I used to smoke a lot, I used to be puffing smoking and all that, and I used to work at the theater, so I never wanted to really incorporate.
Yeah.
I do post puppet stuff, but not as much. And one time I was chilling, I forgot who told me, you know, and this was a long time ago. And he was like, "Hey, you should go public, you know, let people see what you do and stuff like that." And I was like, "Really?" Like, and I just let it go public, and people were just following me. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So after all that stuff going on, I will make announcements. I'll be begging people to come into the theater. I'll be like, "Hey, you know, like, you guys wanna come? Like, just let me know how many people, and, you know, I'll let you know the times and come through." Because the shows at the theater are, you have to make a reservation. You have to call and be like, "Hey, you know, I'm coming next Tuesday 28th, and I'm bringing 2 adults and 3 kids, you know, save me the seats." Because even though the seats are not assigned, because it's first comes, first served, but we do have a count of the seats and stuff like that. So you have to call and be like, "Hey, you know, a lot of shows are sold out. You can just come into the door and be like, 'Hey, can I come in?' You have to wait towards the end and see if somebody maybe didn't show up and things like that." So so I will still let people know, like, "Hey, come through." They had like families coming to the door and be like, "Hey, we're looking for Cain," and they were like, "Hey, Cain, I used to be somewhere else, like, instead of being aware, you know."
Simon.
And yeah, nobody was allowed to do that. Nobody's allowed. You had to put their name in the books and let people know. You know, like, everybody was already. People were getting checked and be like, "Hey, you bringing somebody? Let the office know. Put the name down and like that." And I never did that. Never.
They never told you anything?
Never did, man. I mean, they will tell me, "Hey, you know, like, it's sold out."
Yeah.
But I'll be like, "I could squish them in," you know, like,
Yeah.
I always did that. At one point, I used to put my phone like all the way in the back live, and everybody could see the show. Yeah, I did that for a while. I did that for a while, and after, I think they used to cut it after 1 hour. So sometimes, you know, the show is 1 hour, so I'll be like, click and run to the other side and try to do the first puppet or do some lighting effects. And I did that for a while, and they got mad, of course, of that. But I, you know, I was sneaking in once in a while because I used to always show it off. You know, I would love to people, because my crowd never knew about the theater. Yeah. I mean, the theater was established already, but my crowd never knew, and I had people, even the neighbors around, because I'm always in that world that, even though, like, I have to know where I'm at. So the theater is like in a huge neighborhood, you know, like a pretty dangerous neighborhood, and the other neighborhood is like a block away. So they're like in a fucking middle of all these territories, and you know, I got to, of course, get involved and all that. So it was pretty interesting, man, in that way. And I got some of the homies around the neighborhood to actually come, and we used to give people ice cream at the end of the show, and people would just come for the ice cream and things like that.
You know, that's what I was gonna just say, dog. Like, what the fact that when he went public and he started inviting, like you said, our culture, nuestra raza doesn't know about this, and the fact that you started inviting people and people were showing up and you were squishing them in, but that shows, bro, like, that doesn't matter what's around you. Como dijiste, habían different neighborhoods, and this is right in the middle. Yeah, there could have been shootings, you know what I'm saying? But for that moment, they went and saw a show, and then fucking, it was a different perspective.
Se cambia, yeah.
Oh, trust me, man. Like, you know, like I said, like 5 years ago, I didn't have one picture. Like even when I was small, I don't have pictures like that. You know, we never own a camera or anything like that. So like now I have thousands. Yeah. It's like so many pictures, videos, and there's so much outside. Like things outside of me that I'm like, wow, like, can't believe I came this far. But you know, the prices at the theater, I mean, you know, the movie theaters are like $10 or whatever. Sometimes the price of the theater will be like $15 for ticket, and kids under 2 are free. So if you're over 3 already, you have to pay $20 and things like that. And you know, for raza, I mean, I would not pay that. I would not come and be like, hey, let me get a ticket. You know, I mean, like, I would better spend that $20 somewhere else and maybe get something better, even though I didn't know what I was in there. But that's what I kind of, like, made me want to, you know, like, bring your family. I know you don't have the money for it, but come through. You know, you got to witness this. I think everybody had to witness a puppet show at least once in their lifetime. Because if you haven't experienced this, it's like, I don't know what you're doing, man. Because it like, once you see a show and you want to come and see the next one. it's just so addicting because some of these puppets they act real and you like get lost. Even though you always see the pup guy doing the puppets and all that, and you always see him, but you always get intrigued in the manipulation of the guy doing all this, and you see in the puppet what he was doing, So I always used to go always for the adults. The kids get happy or sometimes they get scared, they start crying. The kids always get intrigued when the puppet comes out. No matter what it is, the puppet comes out, like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Like, but the adults, they're like, oh, let me see what this was doing. Like,
I think
let me check, like, things like that. So always
Hey,
just.
bro, did knowing how to throw gang signs help you with the manipulation?
I know.
I mean, I'm glad that I'm glad that the one that I grew up with is not that hard. So but I never throw a gang sign. Besides the peace sign.
Right now, you're talking about puppets becoming real.
Yeah.
I know last time when you came in, you were telling us how El Triste became real to you. Yeah. How did that come about? How did Triste come about?
I was gonna tell you. Hold on. I was gonna say, hold up. We've been interviewing Cain, but the homie feels left out. So I was gonna say, like, Triste's looking triste because we haven't even asked about him. You know what I'm saying? So
he's right here.
I wanted to go off your question. So yeah, how did
El Triste came about? Okay, so I was already at the theater established, and the theater have a whole circus show. So every show that we have is over 100 puppets each. Every puppet is different, of course, and they have their own numbers. So we have a whole circus themes with like animals and like clowns of all styles. Like we have like over maybe like 200 clowns, from big to like doing tricks, like you name it, we have it.
Gotcha.
And so I grew up with our clowns, and I always wanted to build a puppet myself, because I seen these puppets, and some of my other friends that grew up like with the theater, they had their own little puppets and stuff like that, and they had their own little size things like that. And I always wanted to build one, but just knowing the price, I'm like, man, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not gonna save up for a puppet, So kind of went out of my mind. I got to play with it whatever I had, so I was like, cool. Got to help building them and all that, and so I came with this Instagram. Her name is Miss Reyes Arte. Miss Reyes Arte does she makes dolls. Like she painted them as clowns, like El Triste, or like La Smiley. She built her, like she helped me build her too. So she makes like dolls, painting them like clowns, different styles, and she's so into it that her craft became so amazing that she started doing tattoos on the doll. So if you had tattoos in your face or in your body, she will put those tattoos in the doll.
Oh, damn.
And she's so amazing. And one time, like I said, I invited her with the whole family, and I was like, we have a circus show. You into clowns? We have clowns, so come through, but bring one of your bigger clowns. So because I wanted to see it, and I wanted to see it like in person. And so she came through and she put the clown like right there, and I went to the clown with the puppet, and it was like a whole little cool moment. And when after the show, I got to sit the puppet, and I was like, she brought it all rated out, like all Raiders, and I was like, oh man, like
here we go, Raiders, go Raiders.
For real, I grew up with Raiders.
Yeah.
The neighborhood that I grew up is called Crazy Riders,
and
they incorporated kind of the same style and the same color, so I grew up with Raiders all the time.
Órale.
So when it came to her, she showed me the clown, and I was like, oh man, this is fucking dope. Like, I'm glad that you could come whenever, and she always come through. But one time she's like, hey, you should come to my house, like, just come through. And I was like, really? Like, hell yeah. I was just happy, because I consider her a big artist, because she does mostly paintings and stuff like that. And I mean, she's amazing. And she invited me to her house, like a whole factory where she works on and what she does, and her whole family smokes, so I kind of blend in. I was part of the family, right? Yeah. Her whole family smokes, so I kind of became part of the family, and I used to just be chilling there while she's working in these amazing masterpieces, and I would just, just chill, maybe help her paint like the clown like all white. And then she will come and do the whole details. I mean, plain no white is easy, because I'm not artistic at all, like no skills, And, I just spent time, and one day she was like, hey, you should build a puppet. But I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm thinking, because of what I know, like, I'm like, nah, I don't know. I can't, like, it's too much. And she's like, no, like, you should maybe grab one of my dolls and make it into a puppet. And I was like, oh. Like I was like, all right, like, like that just sounds pretty interesting, because I never thought about it like that. And I went to her, like, I was there, and I started grabbing like a head, like a whole doll, and kind of I should have brought the face. I actually had two different faces for El Triste. So I have what do you call that? I was grabbing like a doll, and I was kind of putting different features, like his eyebrows, like kind of went in there. I was kind of picturing something in there. I was just kind of like going clown based because I did the whole kind of like thing in here and all that stuff, but as a like kind of like a scar kind of thing. And I went in there and just kind of doing things, and I was like, because I love Captain Spaulding, like from that movie, and Cepillín, big as artists out there, and I was like, I'm gonna leave it the head and just put these colors in there, like I think it would be look pretty cool. And when I came back the next day, the vision that I had, she brought it to life, because I'm like, oh shit, like this head actually looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
And then when it came to the body, I kind of just put wires all around, and pull strings on a control, because I did build the airplane control, which is the one that I have in my hands. These are the controls that you manipulate the puppets with. So this one is morely for holding for support, like the shoulders will be here, like the head. This one will manipulate like the moving feet. So these controls, you have to have them to be able to manipulate a puppet. So I brought this control, and I put strings on the doll that I had, and kind of like, I was like, oh, this actually it worked, because once you put strings into like a doll, it turns into a marionette, into a puppet. Even though you just have it there, but it does turn into one, like no matter what, that's what it is.
Simon.
And when I build them, it used to move like a penguin. It used to just move sideways, and because I just build them, and I used to take them everywhere, I used to take them to different lowrider shows and things like that, and people kind of fell in love with them. So there was rappers, and people were like, hey, I want to in a music video, and I want him to do this and that. And I was like, what the fuck?
It just looks like a penguin.
Yeah, that's what he does. Like, he just moves sideways and jumps, and that's all he does. And there was this, actually, one white guy that he does his own music, and I forgot his name. I do have the videos right there because I did save it. And he's like, hey, man, I want El Triste to be in this video. And I was like, you sure? Because I told him I was playing to him that he can't do nothing, but he just put like 2 mirrors, and I was just wiggling all around. It was just, because I'm experiencing that, so I'm not going to go into you and be like, oh, I could do this puppet when I can, it's like, it's not for that. And, he's like, I did the little video, he paid me like $300. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, all right. Like, I mean, I was just happy to be able to do something, and for him to film it and maybe to be out there.
Yeah.
Promote it, yeah.
Yeah, like, do something that I did, like, in a videos. I'm like, oh, shit, like, it's pretty cool. And, yeah, man, it just became so randomly that people fell in love with him. And I did name them El Triste because I'm always happy. I smoke a lot, so, I mean, there's no sad stoner out there. I'm serious. Yeah. What was happy, what was smiling, what was bringing the funny mood and all that. So I decided to do the opposite of that, which is sadness, happiness, sadness, the opposite. And that's what I did with him, because I'm never really sad, when I feel like not, that I've been having it for a while. I feel like his purpose is like kind of at serving sadness and bring happiness. Because, like, I noticed, when I walk through the streets or like anything, there's somebody like maybe like a bum. A bum, it's not nothing happiness being, like a homeless or be somebody on the streets. But if they see me with El Triste, their mood change. They just get happy, but like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's up? Like, they just change, that sadness or whatever they had, they forget about it. And that's what I kind of super proud with it, where he is. And, I built El Triste not as a performing puppet. I never build them for, I'm going to go do shows with them. No. I build them as my friend, my little homie that I could bring around and, maybe, because people always ask me this. And I'm going to say it right now. Don't ask me to make El Triste dance. El Triste doesn't dance. I mean, if I tell you, hey, dance, are you going to dance? What the fuck? Like, nobody's going to be like, hey, dance. I'll be like, what? Like hell no, you're tripping. Like, people always ask me that. And I could make him dance, but he's not meant for like a dancing puppet, because I will have to practice dancing moves, and I actually never practiced with him. I never been like, hey, like I'm actually try to do this. I always do it like on the spot because I done puppets that could do this, but I never know that he could do it. Yeah. So sometimes it's always fresh when it comes to music videos that people hire me to, hey, can you make them? Oh, I'm gonna have to try. You know, a lot of things don't work, but the most that we could, it does work. Working with puppets is so really difficult, man. It's not easy. It's not something that you be like, oh, I'm gonna do it and be like, oh, nah. You have to be in uncomfortable positions because you have to be away from the camera. So you always have to be like this and somewhere they can see you, and it's really uncomfortable and it's not easy even for the guy filming, because he's still be on the floor on his knees. And when people always ask me like, hey, let's take some pictures, I'm like, you better not bring some good clothes, bring some dirty clothes, because you're gonna be on the floor. Like you're gonna be dirty, not me, because I'm gonna be on the side of him. But like, yeah, I mean, like people always, oh shit, like I don't be on the ground, but a lot of people just go to the ground and take that one picture that's fucking badass and they just go with it. But yeah, man, it's pretty interesting.
I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
how he explained Triste, like how
like,
he pretty much is his counterpart, like his opposite,
Yeah, let's kind of takes my sadness away, because even when I'm sad too, I just think of a little homie. It's like, man, like I got a Triste, like who gets to have a puppet that go out there and be his own little celebrity, because this was a fucking celebrity. I'm fucking serious, man. People don't ask for the PuppetMaster, they ask for the Triste.
The first time we saw him was on we had Bad Vic, and we saw the video. Nobody's Clown, and that was the first.
Shout out to Bad Vic.
Oh yeah, of course, homie. Yeah, Bad Vic. Man, that's a pretty. I mean, I had El Triste for like almost 3 years before Bad Vic hit me up. Before that, he came out in a movie called El Triste.
Oh, he has his own movie too?
He has his own movie based on the other face, the bald-headed one. Because he's bald, at the beginning of the music video, he's like in the bald-headed, he's like all bummed. Because that's kind of built him as a little kind of bum, kind of on the streets and stuff like that. And they want to incorporate that face, so it goes back and back, which is pretty dope. I like that idea. And so yeah, it's based on the other phase, and it's winning awards. It's doing crazy. Like big awards. He just went to Santa Monica Film Festival. He won Best Drama Award.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's fucking dope.
And the thing about this movie is that like it's so silent. There's no like I'm not talking. It's more like music and all that, and it's universal for that. So I think that's good that they did that, because they went to Brazil, win an award. They went to Mexico. Wow. It's going practically all around, and I'm like, oh damn, this fool went to the LA Live Staples Center red carpet to watch his own movie. I'm serious. I was just like, wow, I come watch movies here. And I'm bringing this guy in the red carpet, they interviewing him and all that. I'm like, wow, like that's fucking crazy. And it's like, when they came to the music video, Bad Vic hit me up. He's like, hey, I got this, I got my heart broken and I wrote this song, and it's about a clown, and I would like to incorporate you with, with El Triste. And I was like, oh, since it's a breakup song, I have the other girl, which is La Smiley, which is the girlfriend. Yeah. And he loved the idea, and we did a little meeting. And I mean, before that, he sent me the lyrics of it. He kind of sang them, and it was like, I was a puppet on a string. And I was like, just with the beginning of it, you kind of caught me, because I was a puppet on a string. That's what I do. I've been doing strings, forever. And then became to a clown, and I'm like, oh shit, like you already talking about like a breakup, sad clown, El Triste, and talk about El La Smiley. I'm like, it felt like he
wrote it for them.
Yeah. That's all. Like, oh shit, that's fucking. I mean, it was already bad.
You're like,
I was like, hell yeah, because I mean, I'm always about promoting the puppets, because I always used to promote. Even though I used to work at the theater, when I used to take him outside with me, I'd be like, hey, if you like El Triste, come into the theater and see bigger things. You're gonna get mind blown. So when he told me, and of course there were so many difficult parts, because I mean there's so many things that El Triste cannot do and things like that. So that was kind of the hardest part, but the whole experience was pretty dope, man. I was just like, El Triste, because I mean they custom made him a Matador suit, which it was my friend Elias that I met her. She's my custom designer, which is pretty dope. I don't get nothing else from nobody else, only her. But yeah, they gave her the idea, hey, you should make a Matador suit, and she went out loud and beyond. I was just like, whoa, like this clothes, it was just so shiny and well detailed, even with the little hat and the little red thing. I was just like, wow, like I was just like, wow.
Everything about that video, man. Even the other guy that Smiley was with,
Oh yeah,
his,
yeah,
his
the little,
smile.
yeah.
His smile.
The thing about that, so I only own El Triste and La Smiley in that video. I mean, that video is all about Puppets Incorporated. So the guy that owns all the other puppets is the guy that left from the theater and did his own things. So he started creating all these amazing puppets, but he went more for like the adult industry. So he has strippers. That puppet is actually a stripper. Yeah, even he has a body sign and all that. He se la quita and he starts stripping and he shows the muscles and yeah, it goes all crazy. Oh yeah, that puppet it was just perfect. But there's other that he has like a sword swallower. He has like a juggler that's juggling skulls and oh, trust me, his imagination is. I mean, all these puppets they're right there. Like there's so many different styles, and even though he kind of of course. Everybody takes something from Bob Baker. We all grow with him, so you always gonna maybe do something similar to it in that style. I mean, I created El Triste. I mean, more my style because I grew up as a cholo. I'm not a gangster. More like a cholo. I was more affiliated, not joined and all that. But I made them more like into my style. I mean, the face, of course, is a clown. Everybody has clowns, but the style is different, and that's what people that I grew up with kind of relates more, and that's why I'm saying maybe I got more fame because of that. Because they're like, oh, this little homie,
Yeah.
If I would have made them build them like in a clown clothes, it would have been different.
Yeah,
it would have been different. But since I gave them the Dickies and the the fucking pro club and all that, so it's different now.
And actually, you were saying El Triste has his own clothing brand now, right?
Yeah, I'm wearing some shirt right now.
So guys, check it out. Shit,
Yeah,
look.
check out. I mean, I got merch on my page, which is PuppetMaster 213. I got the link in my bio, and you can buy all this stuff. But yeah, man, I decided to, since his face became iconic, I was like, I'm just gonna put it embroidered into like the side, like this Joker brand, this big companies out there. They always had Bob Baker, even though had like a clown too, like right here. His name is, I mean, that clown is amazing. It's the Whiz Clown, and Bob Baker had like a different style, and everybody that used to work at the theater has like something as a memorial for Bob. Like they have mostly a lot of people have that clown tattoo on them. As a memorial for him, of course, and I wanted to do something similar too. That's why I incorporated the hands and actually put his name in across of it. And so yeah, El Triste, when it became to his face, I don't know how I met my designer, but he lives in Florida. I think he did like a drawing. I was like, oh shit, because a lot of people does drawings and people has done so much stuff. They always tag me and I'll be like, oh, this fucking badass.
Has anybody ever tattooed El Triste on themselves yet? Have you met anybody yet?
Yeah, I have met so many people, and I kind of lost count already, to tell you the truth.
So there is tattoos of El Triste.
20 of them, I lost count.
Oh shit!
There's more than 20 tattoos out there.
Dang.
Of his face, or both of their faces on them.
Oh shit!
That's, I mean,
Hey, bro, the truth. Have you ever got jealous that this guy's taking all the fame?
yeah, man. I
was like, what the fuck?
You know what? When I'm walking by myself, like on the street, I be like, where's El Triste? I be like, I can carry this motherfucker all the time. Like, I'm gonna have to put like batteries on him, so he'll be by himself. But yeah, man, this would took the whole spotlight. Damn. And I'm not the only jealous one. Everybody's jealous of him. Everybody. Because, I mean, even though I'm in the puppet world, there's people that have more than 100 puppets, and they're not as famous as this one, which is a trip. It's like crazy. And I'm glad, because if I would have had more than 10, I was not going to be able to bring them out.
Yeah.
I only got 3, but, I only bring mostly El Triste and maybe La Smiley. I don't bring La Smiley out as much because of her hair. I mean, girls are really difficult, man. They're not easy. And their hair is all over the place, and I'm not somebody that I'm like, oh, I'm a,
Does she wear Aquanet, bro?
I don't never know, man. That's how much I tell you that I don't mess with her, man.
It's a trip that I had seen like on his pages and stuff, and on YouTube and things. Like people are taking their style. Like I think it was on YouTube where I saw people like doing the, how they do the green screen background stuff or whatever. So it's to the Nobody's Clown, and people are dressing up and painting themselves like Smiley, like girls. Yeah. Like it's become, and then I seen people like
for Halloween. That's like the most kind of more famous, where they dress like them, and people just do it randomly. When the first time that I posted like the face of La Smiley, because I was introducing her, because I had him for like 2 years first, and after 2 years they were like, "Where's the girlfriend?" And I was like, "All right." So I had to talk to Miss Reyes Arte because she's the one, and I told her, like, hey, make like a pretty good girl that has the same makeup that he has incorporated into her. So that's why she, like, the eyeshadow is bluish. And I was like, put El Triste right here. Well, I actually told her, like, in the neck, and she just kind of went right here. And I posted her face, and girls were doing makeup tutorials. They were like, oh, okay, this color, you know how they do the palette or whatever, and then they go like this? They were doing that.
Oh, shit.
Like, the first
week. That's what I saw, like,
the
on
first
the
week
YouTube.
of me doing that. And I was like, oh, shit, like, she's picking up. So after, like, that while, people were doing it so much, I was like, I did a contest. We were like, oh, like, the best girl that does the best smiley, I'm going to paint myself as El Triste, and we'll do a whole photo shoot. And I had hundreds of girls doing that shit.
Damn.
And I was reposting every girl, because they were doing, like, boats and stuff like that. I was reposting every girl in all 3 pages. So that shit became a nightmare, man. I was like, oh, I think I did a little too much, because everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be the best smiley. It blew up. And I was like, all right, of course, the girl with the most followers won, And, we did a whole photo shoot, and she was like smiley, and I was El Triste, and did like a whole thing. That was maybe like four years ago. And that's when his face was bald-headed. And I only changed his face when the movie came about, because in the movie they wanted to destroy the face. They wanted to, and I was like, well, there's only one, I can't destroy this face.
Yeah.
So we told, with Reyes Arte, hey, can you make like a replica, like a double of El Triste, and we're gonna break it, and at the same time I was like, on the side, make another one to look more like me. Because for Halloween, myself, I used to be him for Halloween. I used to paint my face and do the beard, because my shit doesn't grow.
I'm the same boat.
Yeah, my shit doesn't grow at all. So,
he used to have a beard.
Yeah,
I remember
he had the
he
full
had a beard.
He had the full beard, and my shit never grows, so I would be right there painting that. I kind of got tired after 2 years, so I was like, you know what? Instead of me looking like him, I'm going to make him look like me. So that's when I gave him the slick back and more of my facial, and I was like, oh, we're just going to keep it like this for a while. And that's when this whole thing kind of went out crazy, and people kind of, I guess everybody likes more of a slick back and more, I guess, what it is. He's more clean, I guess, because before he more like a bum, it's todo with that, it was just like, oh, Triste, And man, after the movie became famous, so I guess he had to kind of let his hair grow, became more fresh stuff,
more professional.
And so that's what it is now. And
he even has a whip. Have you seen his whip?
Yeah, he has a lowrider. I never expected that one, and I didn't have a car for like 3 years, and this one had a car. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know how this is working, but it was good, man.
He's a little diva, huh?
Like a good investment, because people always love like the whole little kind of little theme that I had going on, because it's mostly like a smile now, cry later.
Yeah.
But I changed it and incorporated their names, so I put it as El Triste now, La Smiley later. So it's kind of like, I mean, it goes into the whole thing, and even though I don't have merch of La Smiley yet, but she won't come into the same style and has her name in the back. But the thing about girls' clothes, I'm not really, and I'll be like, all right, I know what my shoes for a girl, because I don't know nothing about it. That's the only thing that is taking more into like the girls, because girls wear pro gloves too. So I was like, I just want to go pro gloves, and all this merch I did it for myself. I only did like a batch. Hey, I want to wear my own stuff, because everybody wears their own stuff. So after a while, I was like, hey, where you get that? Like, this is my shit. I was like, the only one that got
$100.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, there's so many people were asking. I'm like, I'm gonna do a batch, and I went through all colors. I went to gray, blue, dark blue, and all these colors, and I shouldn't have done it, because the theater where I used to work at, I used to wear the same clothes, and I had all the colors, so I wanted to do the same thing with me. Even though they do sold, but I do have like all the colors that never sold or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I love the whole thing that I had with him, because it took me a while to make merch, man. I was not comfortable doing all that. I know it was gonna come, of course, responsibility to be like, oh, you have to do these orders and all that, and I'm really bad at all that. I'm really bad at doing orders and things like that. But my girlfriend helps me. She's kind of like my boss. Without her approval, I can do nothing.
Is the Smiley take off after her, or?
Yeah, kind of. Well, it kind of grew into that. Because I never be like, oh, I'm gonna build, like a puppet or my girl. I just wanted to get at all these people getting in my way from making her a girlfriend. I was like, Mireya, do whatever you do best, and she did it, and it became amazing. But since everybody's asking, is that La Smiley? I was like, well, yeah, she's my girlfriend, and of course she's La Smiley.
Yeah.
It became to like that, and it does balance everything. So it's pretty good. It's been I mean, I hardly bring her out. I should bring her out more. But, you know, she's really hard.
And now they're asking for a baby, dude.
Yeah.
Baby?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's been for a long time. And, you know, I'm so close to doing that.
Are you really?
I haven't actually told Ms. Reyes Arte about it, but
She's finding out right now.
Yeah,
Exclusive right here, right?
she's finding out in this, you know, amazing announcement that, you know, like, but yeah, you know, I've been thinking about it. I do have been thinking about it, and when it comes to building like other puppets or even like kids, you know, because I don't want to do one, I'm gonna do two, a boy and a girl. Because if I do a girl, they're gonna be like, "What's a girl?" And I want one of each, you know, like a little gemelitos and twins and things like that. And you know, I decided to do two, and I'm like, oh shit, like that's like, I mean, building kids, it comes with a theme. Even though El Triste is gangster, he could just be on the street or whatever. Las Smiley, a little gangster too, could be more fancy or whatever. But if I had kids, he had to come with a stroller. I don't have fucking stroller. and for a puppet, it has everything is miniature. I mean, you could bring like a kid's stroller. But I mean, you know, you want to give it that effect that is like unique, you know, like, oh shit, this is real, you know, because they do treat them like a real person.
Yeah.
I don't treat them as a puppet. It's more like my friend, or like I say, I never treat him as a performer either. He's more like an actor and a model, because that's what he is.
Okay.
He's not people are not gonna hire me and be like, oh, come and perform. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna walk around. That's what I could do, you know, greet people, let us know what's up. Maybe they want to ask me questions, things like that. But I'm not gonna go on stage and perform. Besides los yesterdays, you know, they do invite me to their events, and when of course Nobody's Clowns is the last song, so when they come on stage, they invite him and like they give him a mic, so he's pretending to sing the song too. That's as far as a performing that I go, but that's one song. And I mean I could sing I'm Your Puppet. I mean, I could sing that too. I have done it, but it's just different, man.
Yeah,
this guy is like a whole kind of.
There's a story out there we heard when you're talking about strollers and all that stuff, that that Triste has his own car seat.
Yeah.
You ride him around in a car seat.
I mean, every time the people always pick me up and they were like, "Oh, bring El Triste." I'm like, "You have a car seat?" That's what I was saying. But nah, he's too gangster for a seatbelt.
That's what I was asking.
He's too gangster for a seatbelt. But yeah, like that's one of the main things that I usually say. Everybody that picks me up, because I'm not gonna just and it's car carrying in a car, you know, because puppets, every time that we perform at the theater and we go outside, we have a van, and puppets are always hanging. They're never like sitting down like this. Never.
Because it tangles, or
yeah, they do get tangled. That's why I have tension under control. If I would have left the control right there, El Triste would have been like this. But he has tension, he stays like that. You always have to have that tension and pull in the strings, because not everything's gonna go like high. So when it came to those two kids, you know, I'm a builder. I went to actually since I have merch, you know, I mean, all this my designs are like on the internet. They're all over the place. But you know, I have air fresheners. And then somebody tagged me, because people do when they buy the shirts or whatever, they tag me in their post, and I'm like, hey, you know, El Triste, and they tag me.
Simon.
But this guy tagged me into an air freshener, and it had like a whole like design in it, like, oh, buy this air freshener from here. And I'm like, what the fuck? That should look like the same my air freshener.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one that sells my own merch. Like nobody else. I don't have a store, but like, nobody knows about my merch besides me, and you can only get it through me. I have like those crop charms, you know, the crop charms that you put on your shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You like those too?
For the Crocs?
I ended up making them because everybody was asking me for them.
I might hit you up because
for your Crocs.
But the whole point of this, Crocs. But the whole point of this is like, so those crop charms go for like $1 or $2. They're fucking cheap. I sell them for $5. Not because, you know, you could get them for cheaper or nothing, but like you only getting them from me, and you're getting something that nobody else has.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody else has.
$5. I mean, I've seen some go for $10, $15.
I mean, there's
some,
of course. I mean, I only see maybe the cheap ones. The ones that like all about like $1. Oh shit, there's so many cool ones, you know. But I'm like, I'm not gonna sell it for like the same price as everybody, because I mean, I do sell pins for $10. With the pins are fucking well detailed and stuff. So when I sell the crotch, I was like, damn, something that does make me not. Because I'm selling myself short, you know. I don't consider myself like this big thing, and I don't know my worth, I guess, you know. So when like people were actually buying it, and they were like, I got like two, because I buy like 100s by the batches, 100 pieces, and I already buy my third batch, and people are buying it, you know. And I got the air fresheners, you know, and And when I seen this one, I was like, what the fuck? And it was in the Santa Fe swap meet. I was
they fucking,
yeah, I mean,
they
of course.
everything there,
I've been like there like twice, I think. I never really, but I heard of the whole little thing going on.
Yeah.
It's dope what everybody's doing, But then, like I say, I had the name of the place, and I was like, oh shit, like I hit them up. They had an Instagram with not that many followers, but I sent so many messages because I had 3 pages. I was just bumming. Hey,
What did they tell you?
No, I mean, I went, I told them, like, you cannot sell this, I had to come in and just take your stuff, I don't want to come in a bad turn because I had homies that had their own merch and they had, I have big homies and they come and just snatch things and be like, what the fuck? I'm serious. I had homies that have done that. And I didn't want to do that, I was like, I mean, if you don't want to reply and practically ignore me, then I will have to maybe come and just let you know in person. But I wanted to let you know on social media first. So like I don't have, because I'm not saying that I could expose them and be like, hey, like first day I found out, like, who the fuck, like, I don't want to do that, like, everybody's a small business. I'm a super small business, trust me, I don't.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, nobody should be stealing your intellectual property.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of like, I mean, I'm glad it was right here because it would have been on the state. It could have been like, I mean, I couldn't have known. So, I went peacefully and be like, I mean, they made 50 of them, that's what they say, and I took maybe like 8 of them that they still had. I mean, I don't mind about, I didn't ask for money. I was just like, like think about it. At least search. I mean, the name El Triste has it right there. Even if you go to Google, if you practically type my name, Cain Carias, all this stuff will come out about my life. Yeah. Which I didn't know before. I never Googled myself until actually somebody told me, hey, Google yourself. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, practically my life is in there. Yeah. It's like I could practically say Google me, like people could find out about me like in Google. And if you type a name El Triste, his face will come out no matter what. And it will come into social medias. So I practically just walk up to them and be like, hey, I mean, I'm sorry, but I had to take your stuff and just don't do it again. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. I never had that. I mean, people always could make whatever they want, But I want to be the only one that have my own merch.
Well, I mean, it is yours, yeah.
And, have the little homie kind of like my own little model. That's the only decided to do because I'm like, man, I have the model right here. I don't have to be out there searching things besides the designs. I don't know how to draw things. But I told my friend, like, hey, like, draw me this. And he fucking went out crazy and he did like smiley and he did the PuppetMaster hands. He does so many things and he's in Florida. Oh, shit. And I don't want to be going through different designers and be like, like I did a collaboration with Originals Por Vida. Those guys are big to me. Yeah. They're pretty big and I was lucky enough for the main designer to be like, hey, do something cool. And he did the whole pedal car, incorporated both of them inside the pedal car and he did like a whole forever cruising theme. Oh. And it was fucking badass in the Puro Cosa El Triste face in the front with our originals. And I was like, oh, shit. That's dope. They're the only ones allowed to sell my stuff because we did the collaboration with them. But that was pretty dope. I was pretty excited with that. But I only got one designer. The guy that embroiders my pages, NSP Printing. They're in Santa Fe Springs. Okay. And they practically hooked me up, man.
Is it part of the same ones that were hooking the Santa Fe Springs people? Right?
I was gonna say they're going to the car clubs. Oh, they do the whole car club kind of theme style, and all the car clubs. They don't know them. when they put their car club names and they're fancy. They do that, and they hit me up, and they were like, "Hey man, like, well, I actually hit up so many people. I was like, hey, can you incorporate this into like into your shirts?" And nobody hit me up. They hit me up. And they're like, yeah, man, but I was broke as fuck at the time. I didn't have no fucking money to invest into my whole fucking business. They're like, nah, man, like, we'd like to hook you up, like, I'm going to give you some merch. Once you sell it, come back. And I was like, really? Like, oh, shit. Like, so I was like, maybe other colors.
Hey, we know who to reach out to now.
Yeah, right? Oh, they're big now. They don't even mess with me no more. No, they still hook me up. But they became so big. I'm like ashamed to even like, hey, can you make me some shirts? But yeah, man, they believed in me. They fucking believed in me, man. And they gave me shirts, they gave me beanies, and I was like, oh shit. And the first time I went to a car club, I was selling beanies like fucking weed. Hey, let me get a beanie. I was like, hey, here. And I'm like, oh shit, here. Like people were buying beanies. I was like, oh shit, like that's cool.
And it's fucking hot here and shit. They're buying beanies in California.
Yeah, so man, after a while, now I come with cash and be like, hey, give me this batch. And they're like, oh shit. That was dope. Without them, I would have not had none of this, man. Like shirt wise, because they're cool, man. They're cool as fuck.
NSP, hit us up. Hit us up. Hey, I was gonna say something, bro. I was gonna say you said something right now that I think all of us, like people, sometimes we go through it at some point. You said they believed in me.
Yeah.
You know, like they believed in you, right? And you were like, holy shit, like ni lo pensaste
Yeah.
en ti. And we all go through that sometimes. Sometimes we don't believe in our own selves.
Yeah, man, it's hard. It's hard, especially
Yeah.
the way that people grew up. You know,
Exactly.
we grew up in the streets. We see our struggles of our family. You know, like especially our parents.
Simón.
We know their struggle. We're like, man, they could have done better. You know, but they're not. They're still in their little bubble, and we kind of other people. You know, I mean, social media is amazing. You know, because without it, I mean, people would never know.
True.
You know, that's
It
kind
could
of
be
like
amazing, pero también a la misma vez.
oh,
it
like
could
I
also
said,
be-
I mean, you gotta be careful, you know, fuck up. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've done so many things that I should have never done, you know,
Yeah.
and to my own people. I never went to the good neighborhoods because they had good security, you know, but but you know, like I did so much things that to my own people that I'm really ashamed, and I know karma is gonna get to me, but you know, I've done so much good stuff that I feel like it's almost living it up, like in the good stuff. But trust me, man, I've done so much like that. I'm like, fuck, like.
I think as long as your intentions, bro, we're always, you know, like you
Now
said,
it
we
is.
we all make mistakes, man.
Yeah, now
We
it
all
is.
make mistakes, and now you realize it. So
Because,
that's
you
what
know,
matters.
I grew up with everybody there. So whatever they were doing, I did it.
Yeah.
Whatever dress they were dressing, I was dressing the same way. I used to wear 42s, 3XL, and baggy.
Simón.
And sometimes they would try to hide from the cops and dress normal, and I would still be baggy.
Yeah.
And you know, the cops would come into the crowd and stop me.
Yeah.
The other neighborhoods will be walking like 5 of us, and they will straight up hit me up instead of my other homies that will gang bang. They will go forward, and I'll be like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "What the I don't bang," you know, like.
Yeah.
But look at you,
Yeah, bro, I do
like,
puppets. Dad.
Yeah, I
Doing
mean,
no gang signs.
but that's
No,
where
but-
they grew up. But that's the only style that I took, and you know, the social media now, the thing that is like a custom, and people are dressing like, you know, with the Charlie Browns and all that stuff. And,
Simón, yeah.
you know, like I grew up with baggy stuff. I never wear Cortezes. I did never wear Cortezes because that's really dangerous shoe.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
you know, like I grew up in Mcarthur Park. I was just there. I never kind of went outside, and of course there's so many neighborhoods around. But with Cortezes, you already know that motherfucker's banging.
Yeah.
And you know, I went to the east side, the other side of the river. You know, it's Los Angeles, and everywhere wears Cortezes.
Yeah.
Everybody from outside, from where I'm at, wear Cortezes. I'm like, oh shit, like it's a trip. It's
Yeah.
a trip, and I went more for like Reeboks and, you know, like Pumas and Converse, but Cortezes were too dangerous for me. I couldn't wear those shoes where I'm at.
Yeah.
I was like,
The,
hey,
the only Cortezes I ever owned, me lo robaron.
I mean, it's a
It was
dangerous
a-
shoe.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the black ones with the
trust me.
white. With the white.
It's a, and I actually recently I did a fashion show. G Sports, they hit me up. You know, they're like a brand of clothes, and they hit me up. They're like, hey, we're doing this fashion show. We like to incorporate the puppet and you. We're actually making clothes, so I went to them to make like measurements and all that. And they make these golden pants and pretty cool vests, and we did a fashion show. And they were giving out Nikes, like the white ones. They were
Oh.
giving away to every model, I guess. And they gave me one. They gave him some. They're not for like mini ones. That's the only ones that I have.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of took them out because I like this one's better. But yeah, we do have a Cortez's pair, only white. Where maybe
You know what would be
special
dope?
events.
A Nike. Listen, doing the Nike Cortez.
Oh,
with El Tristes.
I think that'd be pretty
and a
dope.
smiley.
Yeah, even for kids, you know, like, tell me,
Yeah.
Triste goes for both ways. You put a Triste and something right there.
Exactly.
That's it.
Triste on one side and then la
Smiley on the
Oh,
other.
I mean, I did a collaboration with Dickies and Esteban Oriol.
Oh shit! Yeah, Esteban Oriol.
Yeah, I mean, Esteban Oriol, I mean,
Yeah.
who gets to take pictures with that guy? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. He gets to handpick whatever he wants to work on, and I got lucky for him to hit me up. I hit him up for one time. I even got lost, you know, and he hit me up. He saw me there was a show called To Live and Die in LA that he was part of it, and I got to show up, and he see me walking. He pulled me to the side and like, I like what you're doing, man. Like, you know, let me get your number. But I was just so nervous that I didn't even know if I give him the right number. Because he didn't hit me up for like a year. So I was like, fine, like, I don't want to be like, hey, you got the right number or not?
Yeah.
But yeah, when, you know, I got to, you know, see him everywhere, you know, and he hit me up once, you know, I'm doing this cool, you know, thing with Dickies, you know, I just need some models. Would you like to come and just wear some Dickies and, you know, bring El Triste? And I was like, hell yeah. Because I wear Dickies all the time. That's what I wear. Everybody wears Dickies. And so I show up, and the main Dickies people were there. there was this lady, and she kind of seen El Triste. Oh my God, she was taking pictures left and right, and I guess they had another talk, and they were like, "Hey, we'd like to incorporate these designs into the shirts and this clothes." And I was like, "Hell yeah!" Yeah, so I was like, "Oh man, I got so lucky, man. I was pretty interesting that I got to be involved in. I mean, thanks to Esteban Oriol, man, and the whole Dick is
shout out to Esteban.
It's pretty done. I was just happy, man. I'm happy that I get to kind of see and get to say what's up to artists that I grew up listening to. Like I grew up listening to rap and gangster rap and hip hop when I got to kick it with the homies. Even though my my influence and my passion is reggae, but when I kick it with the homies, they were Tupac, Immortal Technique, like Tribe Called Quest. There's so many artists that my friends involve me that is like, wow. I'm glad that I grew up with them, because I would have not known nothing about music. Especially because, now I go based on lyrics and the beats and, the sounds and stuff like that. Nowadays, I mean, I started listening to the radio like in 2007. That's when I stopped. Because everything from then, it was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. I kind of start going backwards. Because, I came here late, 2003. That's when I came over here. And, I didn't went right away into it, like, to listening to it. I was kind of, adapting to it. When I was in high school, fucking what do you call it, like sugar, everybody had the sugar, So it was those times, Baby Bash, And I actually got to meet him, Baby Bash. He said, "What's up?" to me. He's like, "El Triste, what's up?" And he was like, "Las Miley's here. What the fuck is she doing here?" Like, because Las Miley left him, so he was talking shit to Las Miley. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, I didn't. Like, people that you don't think they know you, man. Like, people have seen me, man, that I'm like, oh, I never would expect it. Baby Bash knowing me, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, knowing El Triste, like, oh, shit. That was fucking dope.
Baby Bash.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Baby Bash, like, gotta do something, man, because that was smokes, and I do too, and he does too. So, hey, bring it here. We'll do it, Yeah, man, so it was pretty interesting, and, I'm a big stoner, man. I smoke all the time. Like, 24/7. Like, I need to stop. It's kind of became like my gasoline, without it I can't function, even though it sounds so stupid, but it just became me, like I've done so many other things, but I feel like weed, it's more like you steer yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if I drink, but if you drink, that shit changes you. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing, and you just, doing in your own little world.
Yeah.
But weed, you steer yourself. Even though you're more relaxed and more chill, but you still know what's going on. You're not like that. But, like drinking, nah, it's not really good. I do drink once in a blue moon. I don't even drink on my birthday, and
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's the only thing that I kept, and it's been pretty cool for me.
Cool.
Hey, I was gonna say before we move on to the next segments, I wanted to bring out Mr. Little E, because we didn't talk about him. So I know Food's Gone Wild. You got the puppet for them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope.
But I just did it for fun.
Gotcha.
I didn't tell them, I just did it. Hey, I'm gonna do a puppet, and they were like, all right, like, it's cool, Everybody's doing so many things. I feel like I'm gonna do something more unique. I mean, even though I could have just built a doll, everybody has. I mean, he came out with his pros dolls. Yeah. I could have done anything, but I was like, I mean, I do puppets, and I already had the body. Like I said, it was for a cop. And I was like, it became easier for him because he has that mask, the hockey mask. Oh. He has glasses. I mean, that's fucking easy. I could have done anything. Yeah. So that's what it made it easier for me to do, because I was still brainwashing myself on how to build a cop puppet to see how it's gonna look. Yeah. I was like, I couldn't picture him yet. So I was like, well, this one has a mask. I could just put his mask and that's it. And the body, of course, I already had it. I have my, my custom designer to do the clothes, and I have my embroidery to do,
The Food's Gone Wild.
Food's Gone Wild, because it does have the same sweater.
Oh, nice.
And I went out loud with even finding the little slippers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I got, high socks and everything.
Sock check.
Yeah. Sock check. And then he has that pistol, because they came out with a beer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they came out with a beer called Pistol, which is fucking dope. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's an actual beer? Like,
shit.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, trust me. They sold out every time, because they do by batches. So they do maybe like 10,000 and sold out.
Fuck, maybe, hey, hook us up, fools
I
got
know,
wild.
right?
Hook us up. Just
For
one
real.
fucking little batch.
I don't drink, but I wouldn't mind having, you know. But yeah, I mean, I just did it for fun, mostly for exposure, you know. I wanted maybe for them to post me and people know about what I do. And though there's a lot of fucking, the food community is so brutal.
You know you made it when you come out of food.
For the wrong reasons, though, bro.
Yeah, I know. They just posted this guy that it was rapping about, what do you call it? About Donald Trump. He was rapping about Donald Trump.
I saw that, yeah.
And I posted like, hey, you know, I'm kind of ashamed that I look like this fool. and that fool picked it, and everybody was I was like, oh man, that was just funny.
That's
like,
fucking funny, dog.
It's just funny. Like,
that
page,
that shit makes me laugh. That fucking
yeah, like I said, like the motherfucker. Even though a lot of people, you know, talk shit. I mean, everybody's doing it. You know, white people clowns us. Might as well be our own people making fun of us. You know, I mean, because that's what makes it funny.
Yeah,
it's not like it just makes it so much.
And it's not even clowning, bro. It's like you said. It's like they're fucking. This is who we are.
Yeah,
but it gives you a shout out. They shout you out.
Oh,
fucking people blew up
people
there.
are already posting that video. All he does is narrated into like he doing his own voice into that video.
Yeah,
like that makes it so funny. I mean, people already posting that video. It's funny already itself, but the way he does his voices and these characters that he creates.
Yeah, that's just fucking funny.
Oh man, we just did a little video with them.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, he kind of did a little. Well, he's involved with Esteban Oriol. And they're doing little mini series of people's lives, and they did one about me, which I was pretty lucky to be involved.
When does that come out?
I don't know yet. They're working on. They did the Dove guy. You know the Dove guy.
Yeah,
that guy. You know the Dove. They did one with him.
The guy that he works at the cemetery, right?
Yeah. Well,
he doesn't work at the cemetery. He takes the doves to the cemetery.
To do special events. He always releasing in other events. I had done that before too. He gave me the bird. I'm like, oh shit, like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And they did one about him, and they did another one recently about the guy that did the Chuck Knuckles. I don't know the cholo. They does some. That's what you call them, not Chuck Knuckles.
Oh, the nunchucks?
Nunchucks. Yeah. He does this
Los
karate.
chacos.
Yeah.
Everybody calls them chacos.
I don't know how it is.
What is that? Chacos?
Well, yo cuando crecí, les decíamos
I'm just
chacos.
inventing a new word.
No, we used to call them chacos. Ahí sacan los chacos, güey.
Yeah, Chuck Knuckles, that's what they call it?
No, they're nunchucks en inglés, pero creciendo, you know, en español le decíamos chacos. Chacos.
Well, I guess, yeah, but that food does all that stuff. It does, like, became pretty famous with that.
Cholo that does this shit?
Yeah. So I think that they won about him right now recently. So I think they're getting everybody, I guess, together.
¿Cómo le dicen a ese güey? ¿Fully?
I don't even know. Though.
Fully.
Yeah, I just actually started following all these people. Yeah, because I mean, sometimes I do miss like some important people that I do want to follow and be like, I'm following this artist, I don't even follow him back.
You know, so I imagine that fool in the streets, though, and somebody pulls out a strap on that fool.
I mean, don't scare them. I mean, that's no joke. I wish I could learn it. Yeah, he has tutorials and all that on YouTube. Yeah, he's pretty known out there. I've seen him before, but yeah, they did one on him, and I'm not sure who's next, but I think they want to get this whole series together first and you know, get it out there. But I was just like, oh man, like they really went deep into some stuff, and I'm just happy to kind of, I guess, be a part of anything, man. Because I mean, I mean, I guess, you know, because people do see my life in a different way. Because, you know, even though he has his own movie, I do have my own documentary based on my life while I was working at the theater. So I do have that, you know, that got deep into my life while I was still working at the theater. Right now, they want to give him his own show, which that was gonna. I mean, they've been telling me for like a year, and it's not on them; it's on me, because they practically want me to create El Triste's world. They told me, they gave me freedom to do whatever I wanted. Be like, hey, you know, give us what El Triste world is alike. Like, I want El Triste's friends. I want to know what his friends is like. I want what his life is like. I want to see, you know, what he's all about. And I'm not a great writer, man. You're never gonna get me. I'm like, hey, write a story. I'm like, all right. Oh, this is El Triste walking. No, you're never gonna get me that. And they be pushing me. I did send them maybe like 2 hours of El Triste's life. Oh, like when I wanted to be like what I envisioned for him to be doing. And they're like, man, you're gonna have to go a little more into like deep into like what you want to do.
You should get an actual writer.
That's what I just recently
throw your
did.
ideas y ellos te los escriben por ti, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even your life, bro. You've had a crazy life too. So
yeah, well, another company is hit me up. They want to do a movie about my life. They want to get like actors to play me and play the roles and all that, which I was like, oh shit, like, you know, because every time they do hey, I want to do something about you, I'm usually me playing myself and explaining it. But like, nah, we're gonna get somebody to play you. And
who do you want? Who do you want to be playing?
I don't know. I mean, I never really thought about it.
You're gonna get like an older cholo, like Isaí Morales.
That's what I told him, you know, because they had like a almost 3 hours conversation because they went deep into like my life in Tijuana and over here, and I'm like, I mean, you know, I've done so much stuff that I don't know what you guys want to do, you know, because it's not like, I be like, you kind of almost glorifying that, but not in a different way, because of course they want to give a good positive, you know, message. So yeah, right now I guess they did like a whole script, and they're pitching it to different directors to see who wants to pick it up. They're already on that, and whoever picks it up, we're gonna go deep into it and go into it, and I'm like, oh shit. But the thing about him is this company been hitting me up for a while, and I just like, fuck, I just, trust me, I can. And so I just did a collaboration with this company called DX Collective. She's an amazing artist too. She makes her own brand and customize her own stuff, like sewing it by herself, and she's amazing. And Doris D, and you know, Instagram, and I just recently did some pictures with them. And her sister, I was just, because they always intrigued about my life. They've been knowing her for a while. And I told them about this, you know, her sister, she's like a writer, poet. She like write poems and all that stuff. And I was like, you should help me. And yeah, I told her what I sent them. And she became to this whole script. I was like, oh shit, that's fucking dope. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I told her we should meet up because I want to especially just through, because texting is like, even talking, you know, I want to prefer to meet up and discuss what I want to do. And you could do your whole twist and make it into a longer story and all that. So yeah, I just barely got that this week. And she told me, hey, review it, see what you think. I was like, oh shit, like, damn. She really kind of captured what I want to kind of incorporate, because like I say, I'm not a good storyteller. I'm not even a good teacher. So it's like me trying to get into like, get more deep into it. I have my mind and visions, but I have so much stuff in my mind that is like, I can't really be like, oh, this is what I want to do. I have, too much stuff. But I'm really happy when it came to that girl that she's helping me. Nice. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm super happy with that. Like I said, once I meet with her, get the whole story down, and this guy's maybe have his own show now. Cool. And it's a big company too, so I'm like, oh, I should have jumped into it. But I'm not saying they're dumb, but they should have gave me somebody. And I told them, you know, like, you guys could do whatever you guys want. I could just want to come and act whatever you guys want. Because if I give it my story, it's gonna be different, you know. And maybe that's what they want. They want different, and all right, genuine, They want. I'm gonna give them some different characters and stories, and I want to call it the Adventures of El Triste, or El Triste's Adventures. So he's gonna come, him just walking around, meeting people.
The homie Scotty. The big fellow. There you go, man.
For real, man. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Hopefully you get it off the ground soon.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been liking it, man. They be always sending me, like, because I'm involved in their little message thread. That's what you call it when there's so many groups. Yeah. The thread, and they always say, oh, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I'm like, oh shit. But just a reminder, you know. But they're heroes. They're really helping me when it came to like doing all this stuff. But the thing about me is like, cause you know, I'm an immigrant. You know, I don't have papers. I'm not here to like, I don't get a mail and the check, or I'm not supposed to work because I don't have, of course, the proper documentation to even work. But you know, I met my girlfriend, and she kind of trademarked and helped me get a company. So now I had the, you know, PuppetMaster 213 Inc., where people could actually write that name and give me a check. And which I'm like, oh shit, I could have done this a long time ago, but you know, I've lost so much opportunities in being in movies, being in different music videos, being in my own kind of little thing, but I just couldn't because they couldn't pay me. They couldn't be like, oh, I mean, they had to always pay me cash or throw other different name and things like that. So, but now it's different. So now I got my own little thing, and now like all these big things, now I could legit be like more comfortable instead of being more scared. Yeah. But now it's like, I mean, get me a check under my name. Now it's cool, but yeah, it's good. It's pretty good, man. I'm pretty happy. So, it's good. You know, my own brand, kind of like my own little company and stuff. It's pretty hard. I fucked up with them taxes. Motherfuckers be fucking me up. I was like, shit.
No lie, bro. You ain't lying. You ain't lying,
I mean, you know, because I kind of threw everything to my girl, you know. I mean, I never done my taxes myself. Yeah. I never done taxes. Even though, you know, like, I never done taxes, so I never even thought about it, you know. I just like, hey, I'm selling shares and whatever, boom, boom, boom. course we do have money, but yeah, we missed the first year. So when the second year came through, we're like, what the fuck? I was just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, she's struggling right now, trying to get our stuff together. But I didn't know shit, and she didn't know either. You know, like, I mean, we didn't know shit, and well, I guess we're almost trying to get to that point that I'm like, all right, now we know. But damn, that shit fucked me up big time.
Yeah. Like, taxes are no joke, man.
Fuck, that shit kind of like pulled me down big time, and I was like, well, it's a good lesson, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody be like, oh, this is nah. I'm just learning myself. Yeah. And she did the whole thing, and I'm like, oh, I mean, she's really kind of like like she's the manipulator right now, because I'm just like the good face, I guess, or whatever. She's always a trick, because, you know, like, everywhere we go, people always ask for pictures, and I'm with her, and I'm like, oh shit, like, let me just.
Should I ask?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, of course, there's a jealousy there, but I mean, everybody would have been jealous, you know. I'm gonna be, you know, fucking 10 girls right there, like with you or something. Yeah. But yeah, she's been through a lot, and I'm really grateful for her. So
cool.
Nice.
Cool.
But she's gonna kill me.
I'm your puppet.
I play whenever you want me to.
Hey, Cisco, the manches. We're gonna move on to the no manches section. ¿Sí te explicó
Nah, I forgot about
last time only. No manches. It's just something that's happened to you, or something that's funny that you think is like, no manches. Kind of like a fool's gone wild thing, like fools wearing or doing something stupid, like, no mames, güey. Yeah. I'll start it off just to make it.
Go for it.
My no manches is, have you guys filled out those things where it says race, ethnicity thing?
Yeah.
And it says Native American, African American, and then it says, and then Pacific Islander, Hawaiian, and then it says white, right?
Yeah.
And there's never any Hispanic, Latino, Mexican, nothing. And then I was actually reading what they are. What are we supposed to identify as and shit? Like, I'm not white. I'm not white on the inside, not white on the outside. And it's like, why the fuck haven't they changed that?
I don't know. That's
like, they literally have everything, you know, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native American, Alaskan, Native. Yeah. And it's like, where's the Latino? Where's the Hispanic? Yeah. Where's the Mexican? You know?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I mean, it's hard to identify yourself, you know, because some people say Latinos, Hispanics,
Chicanos,
so many different ones. I just kind of say always raza.
Yeah, but what are you? What were you supposed to?
That one, I mean, I never filled that type of paper. But the ones that I filled, I think I've seen something Hispanic, or it says something weird. I can't really point my head on it, but it does say something different, or other or something. Other,
I think I seen other.
Yeah, the other. I'm like, well, if I get, I guess.
And then I read what like each one is, right. Like white is European descent, North Africa, and what was the other thing? I forgot, but it was like those things. It's like, bro, like what?
Yeah,
what?
That's crazy. Yeah, you're right. I would sometimes put white, and then try to explain it in the bottom. Because obviously I can't say African American. You know what I'm saying? Unless I got my fucking curly hair. But anyways, yeah. So.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, that's my no manchas. Like, come on, it's 2023, dog. Like, you know, there's more.
Now, it should be already. You always slap in the face for not doing that.
Yeah, you always bring political no
manchas. No, it's just about it's just about our culture, bro. Like, you know, like it's like our culture's taking over everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like, how are we not on a piece of paper now?
That's true.
Anyway, what's yours?
My no manches. We just went to the fight last night, Bellator 290, and going to venues and buying beer. It's fucking getting expensive.
No manches, each beer is like $15.
Yeah. No, hey, $15, that's fucking cheap. I paid $52 yesterday for 2 beers, for 2 tall cans. That are fucking $3.
$52 for
2 tall cans.
No manches. Yeah, that is a no manches.
So me and Salito were fucking betting beers, but we were betting half beers on the fights. We were like, hey, fool, next fool, who do you got? But we were like half a beer. So like I would win one fight and he would win the other, and they were like, we're even. But we never bought each other a beer because it was like, fuck. $52 for fucking 2 tall cans, dog.
Yeah.
No manches.
You know what? Sometimes I get lucky because people give me free drinks. I'm serious. I'm lucky with that. Sometimes they want to get me too drunk. And I don't drink too much, you know. So like a mixed drinks, you know, black and Coke or whatever. And, you know, the first one is cool. The second one, I'm like already feeling it. So I usually don't drink that much. But we're like, yeah, here. I'm like, oh, no beer. For sure, no beer. I don't drink beer. Only mixed drinks. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm more comfortable. Because my dad's a drunkie. And I don't want to really follow those steps, so that's what kind of stopped me from even trying it. But mixed drinks in a different environment is good. So it's pretty interesting. That one, I get free drinks.
Hopefully one day we're fucking that big. And
I know, right?
And we get free drinks. Oh, this is cool. This is Mike.
Like, this two foods right here. Oh, shit. That's funny. No manches, huh? Oh, damn. That's a pretty... And it's funny because nobody really uses that word that much. It's a true. There's so many different words when I used to be in Tijuana.
Hey, bro, don't steal our ideas, dog, because we're gonna make the merch with no manches.
I'm gonna walk up to you, hey, dog. I'm gonna take all your shit.
I wanted to make one. You know that guy pissing and he always turning the finger. Yeah. I want to do one that's similar to it because sometimes they do like
Triste's face.
Yeah, like that would be funny as fuck. So no manches, fuck. I think my no manches is when people throw trash.
Like on the floor, or
Yeah, like just kind of in general. You know what? I might include myself too because I do it. You know what? That's practically one of the reasons that our communities are getting lost and kind of like just getting pushed to the side because of the dirtiness in it.
Sure.
And everybody will kind of clean a little bit, or even just because of the trash. That's the only thing that it kind of gets me like, no manches, way. Like the trash can is right there, or even take your trash. Because trust me, in Mcarthur Park where I'm at, like, oh man, like it's pretty bad. Echo Park, it was like that too. Echo Park, they closed the whole park.
Yeah, they put the fence.
Remodeled the whole thing.
Yeah.
They did the fence, which is becoming a little cleaner or whatever. Mcarthur Park, they're starting to do that. They're remodeling like the Mcarthur Park side where they have the soccer field and the whole like the concert little globe, the shelf. And in the other side with the park and the water is that it's pretty dirty. Hopefully they do something about it. They're cleaning it up, of course, through the vendors around. They're giving them permits because before they used to be on the floor and they used to get kicked out a lot.
Yeah.
Now they give them they give them a little like a fee and you get to have your little space for the whole day or whatever, which is good. People still putting stuff in the ground no matter what, of course, But yeah, I think the trash is kind of like getting to me a little too much. That I think I need to check myself, man, because I do it a lot. Trust me, I do it a lot, and when I see it, I judge other people, of course, but I'm like, man, I should do it myself first. And right now, since I'm involved in the community, they're doing a lot of like cleaning the park kind of days or whatever, and I want to do that a lot. I want to go to like a lot of neighborhoods and like kind of like promote it like 2 months in ahead and be like, El Triste is gonna come through and help you clean your neighborhood.
Oh, that's dope.
Whoever wants to come through and help out, just walk around. I mean, the trash cans are there. Do a little power, call the city, they will come through. Yeah. But it just had to come into cleaning, and I want to do that. And that's kind of my no manches, man. You need to pick out your fucking trash.
That's true, bro. We're sometimes we're fucking lazy. We just
and you know what? That's what the lowrider community right now. The cops are so into us. But not to me, because I don't know. But they're like, because I see it, and they're doing the Whittier Boulevard is the best lowrider scene, and they do like lowrider cruises and all that. But everybody drinks,
and they just leave their fucking
beers.
beers.
Yeah, man. I think that's the only thing that is not making it legit. Because, like, this is business all around, and they come in the morning and they say all this, like, trash, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and
true.
That's where they put the whole restriction. But if this whole, I mean, if you're the lowrider community, like, if you just clean up your beer, it's hard to take fucking cans into your lowrider, but I mean, bring a double bag or something. Bring one of the good bags, because I spend a lot of money in my trash bag. They're really good. I could throw water in that motherfucker and it will spill.
Or just throw them like in the trash can where the parks are. There's different areas.
100 lowriders in one trash can. And they do leave their pals. I mean, it's hard. Maybe we need to collaborate with the city when they could come at night and pick up like the things. But I think, because I want to own a lowrider too. One day and be able to be out there.
You're like, I'm not going to put shit in
when everybody. But I think, lowrider, I think we just got to step up a little bit in the drinking, maybe a little less or more, but just bring the trash can and help out clean themselves. Because I'm always attending. I know a lot of car clubs, and they always invite me, and they always put in the flyer, clean after yourselves, and
nobody does.
That's fucking crazy, man. But my trash can is my no manches, so pick up your fucking trash.
I got another no manches, dog. And it's gonna help. He probably knows it too. Movie theaters trash, fool. Like how people just throw their fucking shit under their seat, or
I don't know about that because I bring my own food in there. So.
No, but even then, tiran la basura.
Hold on. So you can't put the shit on the ground?
Oh, you could put it there, but pick it up when you're done with the movie and throw it away.
Then what are the ushers for?
The ushers are you know what the definition of an usher is, right? To usher you into your seat. Not to pick up after
Nobody's
you.
ever ushered me into
But
my
the air
seat.
cleaners at night, but
Yeah, but still, bro. Hay
it's
gente
too
que se
much
pasa,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just throw shit in the
They,
floor.
they do pick up my Coke and take it and maybe take a refill too.
And sometimes, like, they spill their popcorn all over the place. They kick
come
it.
on.
Like,
Yeah,
come
it's
on.
different.
man.
Fortunately, I do leave my fucking pizza in the bottom. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm always like, bing. Yeah, you're right. But they do find some good stuff though. Yeah, I've been seeing some videos that I'm like, oh, like I had a friend that used to work at Staples. We're like, pictures always are like a cell phone, like jewelry. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
I'm sure they find some good stuff. But yeah. Trash, of course.
Pick up after yourself.
Pick up after
Pick
yourself.
up after
Pick up
yourself.
after yourselves.
You want to tell them about the words of wisdom?
Yeah, so we like to finish off our podcast with words of wisdom.
All right.
This is basically where we ask our guests to say something that they live by, that they do, that positive, that the viewers and the listeners and people that follow us could use in their lives.
Okay.
So we're gonna leave the floor to you. Any
So
words
where
of
should
wisdom?
I look, that way or just?
You're gonna look straight here.
All right. So now I'm in the spot. Shit. But I mean, so words of wisdom. Shit. Whew, that was a tough one because there's so much inspiration out there. You always want to get inspired by the next people and live like somebody else's, and all you gotta do is just be yourself. Be yourself. Of course, try to do something like as the next person, but of course don't do the same thing. Try to incorporate different methods and how you could do it better, or you could do like a different twist into it. Because I'm involved in the puppetry world, and I have worked with puppets, and I brought my own twist into the same thing that everybody was doing, and it's unique in the way that I brought my own self into it. I didn't copy nobody. I brought my own twist into it, but it's something that everybody does. Because trust me, I'm not the only puppet master around. There's so many around. But all you gotta do is just be yourself and believe in yourself. It's hard for me to do that right now still, because like I've been doing this so long that people are actually believing in me. But I gotta believe in myself and push myself and to do better things, like get involved in the community, show a different face of what I used to show before. Because people in the streets used to be scared of me, and now they say hi to me. They're so happy to see me. They show me off, and they just like happy to kind of be my friend. And I'm just like, wow, like I'm being myself, and that's what I encourage you to be. Just be yourself, and trust me, you accomplish so much more than trying to be somebody else, and you definitely be moving forward with something better.
Nice.
Thank you. Good way of putting that.
Yeah, because it's funny. We've talked about that before, bro. Especially in our community, like, with the homies or with the family, tienes que poner una cara. But, when we're alone, we're somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just so we can be accepted. And
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. We have to, like you said, be ourselves.
Yeah, just be yourself, man. I mean, like I said, I get clowned a lot, and that doesn't change me. I mean, social media brought so many haters, these key warriors and shit. But in real life, nobody tells you nothing. They always say what's up to you.
Yeah.
I never had haters in real life. Yeah. Never. Until I posted a picture of me.
That's gonna be a clip
right there, bro.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny how this whole social media is, but I'm happy for it. I'm glad that we're growing up in the era that we got to taste the good stuff. Everything before social media. We got to play canicas. We got to play tazos, outside.
Tag.
Now, of course, when the whole technology got introduced, I was stuck at home too. But everybody's just home now. Yeah. Nobody's outside, man. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's addicting, but yeah, we got to be out there.
And speaking of social media, before we end the show, where can people find you? Tell us.
Yeah, well, I own 3 pages. I own El Triste 213. You can find them anywhere. La Smiley 213, which is the girlfriend. And myself I call myself PuppetMaster 213. And I don't know why I gave myself that name, because I shouldn't be calling myself. I should be something else.
You're believing in yourself, bro. You're believing in yourself.
PuppetMaster is more like you have 100 puppets and all the puppets. But I used to listen to Dr. Dre and Be Real, PuppetMaster song, Metallica, So all these songs kind of like, I'm gonna get that name and just put 213 because that's the area that I grew up, So 213 is all the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there you go. You guys have it. If, you guys could reach out to him. He's I know he does
lowrider shows, quinceañeras now.
I've done so much stuff that now the since I kind of became more like I'm gonna take a break and became a little more exclusive, that I'm not taking everywhere. Triste, you know? Because now I guess I want people to not pay, but just pay for my tag.
No, of course.
Yeah, so now people I had done maybe like 7 quinceañeras, couple of birthday parties. People just hire me to just hang out with them because, like I said, I don't do shows. Like I said, maybe I do perform like on your puppet, or I don't want to go as far as maybe singing the, I'm Nobody's Clown, because that was, I haven't practiced like a routine. Because, it's a song that you want to, and El Triste is not really flexible when it comes to doing things like other puppets that I've done. So it's really hard. But, like, just like this, I did an interview with Tony A. the Wizard. Is like a famous DJ, and he did a song, I'm Not Your Puppet. Like, that was like so in my mind, and he interviewed me. And he has this saying that is like, you gotta promote yourself until it pays off. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta promote yourself until somebody sees that, the thing that you actually do best, and get it and bring it to something bigger. Because the people who do hire me to come out with him in movies, like I said, he has some music videos left and right. Like right now, this month, I had 2 music videos that I'm working on, and they're all different concepts. And they just want to see him with, like, right there, like in the crowd, because they do treat him like somebody big. Yeah, I do label them the saddest puppet in Los Angeles, which is kind of like, like Los Angeles is his home. The saddest puppet, his name is El Triste, and people really kind of relate to him, and they incorporated both of them more like a story. Yeah, they're getting involved with the little pedal car where he's rolling in the pedal car and all that, which is pretty dope. And I'm pretty excited. There's so many cool music things that are coming up, and I'm just happy to do them.
Nice. So if you guys want to get at them, you know where to find them. If you want to hire Cain and Triste to smoke, they both smoke, because Triste smokes too, and
he's a big
get at him.
Hey, we want to say thank you, honestly, for coming out. I know it's a Sunday. So thank you for coming, bringing El Triste, Smiley.
Of course.
Thanks for sharing your story, man. We appreciate it.
Be here. I hardly do stuff like this, but I'm happy to, be able to.
Thank you. We wish you luck and everything that comes.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Peace out, guys.